to the Elite Life Podcast with your hosts, Trisha and Kylee. Here, we guide you on a journey of personal and professional transformation, revealing the secrets to success. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us as we unlock the doors to the elite world of growth, grit, and grace. So, let's dive in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to our lovely listeners on the Elite Life Podcast. We are so excited to have you back. I'm Trish.
And I'm Kylee. And today we have a special holiday-themed episode for you, okay? So this is all about travel for the holidays. And we know many of you are gearing up for trips to see family and friends, maybe thinking about getting away. Maybe you're leaving your friends and family behind, which is
I'm doing that.
Yeah, I told my mom, I was like, so Ryan and I are going to take the kids and we're going to go have Christmas at the cabin. And my dad's like, well, you and Ryan can go and the kids will stay. But so we are here to explore the joys and challenges of holiday travel, give you some tips, some tricks, and share Trisha's personal travel stories because I have zero. I go to the cabin, as you just heard. So,
well, as you said, Kylee, I have traveled tons and tons and tons, and I wanted to make sure that I bring all of my experience to you listeners as you prep for your holiday travel so you can learn from my mistakes and make your holiday much more merry and bright. So holiday travel can be very equal parts exciting but yet stressful, but it is a holiday tradition for many of us. So let's start by talking about some of the joys of traveling for the holidays. What do you like most about it, Kylee?
I like that, I'm going to go back here. It's the magic of the season. Really. I love going to Bronner's with the kids and like just traveling up to Frankenmuth and seeing all the fun decorations because we live in a house that is just not fun to decorate on the outside right now. So I love seeing the lights and like traveling around and going to all those bougie neighborhoods where everybody puts the lights up and like they correspond with Let It Go from Frozen and like all of that stuff. And I love that. Christmas is like my favorite. And for me, obviously it's a faith thing, but I really just love just the air and the season itself and like the warmth and the snow, if we get any, if it's not just mud. But the holiday season can be super fun, but it also, like you said, can be very, very stressful. So let's jump into some tips and tricks for our listeners from your experience that they can kind of implement as we're planning to travel to see family, to see friends, to get away from those people. Just lay it on them.
Yes. We're doing great here.
Little bumpy, y'all.
No, it's all good. So first and foremost is like just planning, right? That sounds super common sense, but a lot of people, they're just like, oh, we're going to jump in the car and we're going to go here. We're
Don't
going to
do
book
it.
our
It's a
flight
trick.
and
That's
go
a lie.
here. You should be booking your flights way in advance, months and months in advance, because the closer you get to the holidays, the more expensive that those flights are going to be. And
How far out do you book your plans? I mean, I know you sit down on January 1st and you plan out every single second that you're going to be a week for the next 365 days.
I do, but then like lots of stuff comes up. Like, I've went on I was looking at my big giant calendar and I've been to.
It is big and giant. It's half a freaking wall, y'all.
Yeah, I've been to it was either 13 or 15 states and then plus like 8 different provinces in Canada.
Of course.
So I've been to over like, 30 spaces altogether. And some of those were very impromptu because it's hockey. So it's like I had no plans to go to this place, but then I had to. So I usually, when I'm booking flights, I usually book 30 to 60 days out. However, if it's a holiday flight, like Trent's Christmas flight, I already had Christmas booked back in like August.
Oh.
So because when you start booking for those holiday flights, the closer and closer you get, like they double, triple, quadruple in price. In one of his hockey camps, I actually forgot to book flights, and then I went to go book them the week before we had to leave. I don't know how I missed booking flights for it, but it was the week before we had to leave, and it ended up costing me like $1,300 for a flight that would have been probably $300.
That sounds gross.
Yeah, it was
Were you
terrible.
Sick? Did you throw up a little in your mouth?
Well, luckily, I'll jump into this tip. I have the Delta Amex card.
Okay.
So the Delta Amex card, like, we don't have sponsorships. They are not a sponsor of ours. But
However.
I live and die by this card because I use my Delta Amex. I charge every single thing I do in life on this card because I get travel points. And with those travel points, as you spend more and more money throughout the year, you level up in levels. So, like, right now I'm what's considered a platinum medallion member.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
It is. All of my bags are free. So tip number one, get the Delta Amex. All of my bags are free, which saves me thousands of dollars. Your bags can be as heavy as you want.
Ooh. All the bodies can go in the bags.
My bags are very heavy. And so this is super helpful to me.
High maintenance.
It is. And then sports bags too, though, like Trent's
That's
hockey
true.
bags. So Trent's
Those
goalie
weigh
bag
5,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's
for
like
sure.
65 pounds. And if you have to pay separately, like before I had that card, when I paid for it, they charge you extra for sports gear. They charge you extra for over 50 pounds. But Delta Amex, if you're platinum medallion, all of that is free. Unlimited bags,
So
unlimited
if the plane goes down because it's overweight, it's technically all Trisha's fault.
It is. But also I'll be sitting in first class because they also upgrade you. So you get all your upgrades for free. So instead of having to sit in a cramped, teeny tiny back, aisle seat where they keep hitting you with the beverage cart, I get upgraded on all my flights because I use that card. So I can't express enough to get that card. And I started this conversation by talking about planning ahead. And another thing that you can do to really, really plan ahead and be able to expedite your process through the lines is to get TSA pre-check. And you have to do that ahead of time. So now we're doing December episodes, but once you get into January and you get past the holidays, go online, Google TSA pre-check near me, and go through the process to get enrolled in TSA pre-check, because instead of standing in those super long lines, because when you are traveling for the holiday, when you get to the airport, the lines are going to be obnoxious because everybody's traveling. If you are TSA pre-check, you get to go to like the front of the line. You don't have to wait in those big long lines. It's a speed pass, yes. And in a lot of airports, like what one did we just fly out of? It was a very big airport that we just flew out of. It was me, Dave, and Angelina. I don't even remember where we were going, but we had a totally different entrance. So if we would have had to go through the normal one, it would have taken 27 minutes. We went through TSA pre-check. We were through in a minute and a half.
Nice.
There was only one person in front of us.
Nice.
So huge time saver. But plan and prepare. If you do not have the Delta Amex and you do not have TSA pre-check, get to the airport 2 to even 3 hours early on the holidays, because you are going to stand in line and you need to be prepared for that. The people that I see freaking out in line are the people that did not plan or prepare. They showed up to the airport. They're mad that there's a long line. Well, guess what? We're letting you know there's going to be a long line. Be prepared to wait. There's you having emotions about it and being grumpy to everybody else is not making anybody's holiday bright.
It's probably just making the people working at the airport want to be mean to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then also even before you get to the airport, make a list of what you need to pack, because there's a lot of reduced hours for stores and things like that. So if you forget something, a lot of times I don't stress out when I pack, because I'm if I forget, I'll just run to Target and get a dress or get a toothbrush or whatever I need. But on the holidays, stores have reduced hours.
Yeah.
So be sure, have a list. I need to pack. I'm going on a cruise next weekend, right? I'm not doing Thanksgiving with my family. We always record a month ahead of time. So we're recording this in November. We got our Christmas shirts on though. So if you're not watching on YouTube, go over to YouTube and check out our Christmas jammy shirts.
Yeah, and make sure you subscribe, because there's going to be some more fun outfits coming your way in the thing episode.
Yeah. So before I go on my cruise though, I loved it because they actually sent me a list of what to pack. Don't forget, because it's winter here in Michigan, but it's summer in the Bahamas. So
Right, and you're on a ship in the middle of the ocean, so there is no Rite Aid to grab a toothbrush or something like that. And I've only ever traveled over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house, so I've never been on a cruise, but I can imagine that they're going to probably take every single opportunity to charge you for every single thing that you forget. So if you forget your toothbrush, it's probably going to cost you $5. You forget your deodorant, which you're going to need in the Bahamas, there's a $10 there's a $10 surcharge for picking up your deodorant. So it is, I love this because I'm a list person too. Even when we plan to go to the cabin where, we have all of the things pretty much. God bless. Shout out to Mama Boyle, okay? God bless my mother-in-law because she has stocked this place with all of the things that mamas will forget in the chaos of packing for so many humans, including ourselves. And it's you can't always get that when you're in the middle of the woods. Or in the middle of the ocean. You're not going to the woods. That's not for you. You're not invited. But
I do also, another thing I thought about was, like, if you don't know what to put on the list, I always Google, like, cruise packing list or camping packing list.
Yeah.
Because also, like, your brain is frazzled or you don't know what you don't know if you've never done it
Exactly.
before. So I will Google, like, cruise packing list, and then I will go to, like, Google Images, and it'll have, like, multiple different cruise packing lists, and then I'll, like, look at them all, and then I'll, like, write my list.
Yeah.
And then I'll go through and pack all of that.
That's a good idea.
And that being said, also make sure that you check their guidelines for suitcases, because I can have my suitcase be as heavy as I want on Delta. However,
can't sink the ship, baby.
Can't sink the ship. So I was like, oh, Dave, is there like a weight limit on the cruise? And he's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, I think that we should check. And sure enough, there was. So make sure, like, whatever mode of transportation that you are taking, you check the weight limits on the bags. You have a written list. And then you're like Santa Claus, you're checking it twice, right?
Yeah, that's great advice. And so just circling back really quick, just another tip I'd like to share and remind everybody: be patient and kind and understanding. The holiday season can be stressful for everybody. And like Trisha just pointed out, there's plenty of humans out there who are not as put together as you. And so, including the airline and the airport staff, right? Like, they are there, they are dealing with the chaos day in and day out. So they don't just see the one screaming Karen that you encountered while you were in line. They saw 55 of them that day. So if you encounter delays or hiccups, just keep a positive attitude, and being polite can make, the experience pleasant for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Kindness goes a long way during the holidays. And a couple other, like, tips to be able to utilize. I did do a whole episode. So after you finish this episode, if you are traveling, whether it be by plane or boat or car or whatever, go over and listen to our episode. It's 10 travel tips with Trish.
Yes.
And in that episode, I have tons and tons of go-tos and resources. But one I wanted to make sure to include was Apple AirTags. So
I knew you were going to say that.
Apple AirTags
have saved your rear end so many
They have,
times.
and on the holidays, especially on the holidays where there's such an influx of travelers, bags are going to get lost and people are going to be chaotic, so you can see them.
There's probably more bags too, because if you're traveling for the holidays, you don't just have your bag of clothes and hair things and whatever. You have presents, you have extra clothing. Like if you're traveling from Florida to Michigan, you have boots, you have coats, you have snow pants. That's a great reminder.
Yeah, and actually mentioning going from Florida to Michigan, make sure you check the weather and you don't just assume. When we traveled to California for our wedding, me and Dave, we got married in Laguna Beach, and it was in November. Our wedding anniversary is the end of November, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, it's Cali. I bought all these like summer dresses, all of this summer clothes, because I've never been to California, but in my mind, it always looks like Beverly Hills 90210, right? But it was freezing. It was freezing. I had to immediately go to the store and get a jacket and pants. Like, I hadn't even packed pants because it was my wedding, so I wanted to like dress cute every day.
No pants party.
Yeah, it was freezing. So check the weather and make sure that, like, just because you assume you're going to somewhere warm, like, not necessarily. They might have cold nights. They might not be in that part of California that's warm
Might have
all the time.
monsoons.
Monsoons, absolutely. So check your weather, plan accordingly, be kind, and, just enjoy the process and enjoy it. Like, every trip that you take is going to be what you make out of it. And if you go into it stressed out, freaking out, like, it's going to be stressed out and freaking out. But if you go into it knowing, like, hey, it's going to take a little while to get there and it's no big deal. Like, let's sit back, let's grab a coffee, let's listen to the Christmas music and enjoy our time.
Yeah, because there's probably 9 Starbucks in any given. That was in our chat group with the 75 Hard ladies. Guess how many Starbucks are in the airport? Trisha goes 5. She goes 9. I'm like, whoa.
Right. And then we want to hear from you. Like, give us some of your memorable holiday travel experiences. Do you have one you want to share, Kylee? What's been your most favorite one?
Yeah, I'll never forget when we went down to Florida. And when I say we, I mean like all of us. And for those of you who are not familiar, when I say all of us, I mean like all the Puerto Ricans, all of the Mexicans, all of the white people. Everybody was down in Florida at Grandma and Grandpa's house. And I just remember just having all the kids there. It was so fun. Like, because we've got cousins in Pennsylvania, Florida, Colorado. We've got people from all over. And it was so amazing to be able to go down there and just enjoy and be together and just make those memories with Grandma and Grandpa. And the same thing, like, I think that those are some of my best travel memories is just going to see my grandparents once they moved out of Michigan. I remember before my dad's mom passed away, a couple years before she passed away, we all went down there and kind of surprised her and she lived in like this little, this cool little trailer park for senior citizens. And so all of us young people were down there getting rowdy, having a trailer park party. But it was nice because we got in the back, us younger kids, the grandkids got in the back of Papa's truck and we drove around the park and we screamed, because that's what we were doing. We screamed Christmas carols at all of the old people, and it was just so amazing. And those are 2 of my favorite holiday travel memories.
Oh,
what about you?
I bet the old people loved that, though.
They got a kick out of it. I remember for weeks after that, my grandma would call me and be like, Shirley came over today and was so happy and just blessed her soul. So it worked out.
Great.
It's nice to bless the soul of old people. So we're going caroling this year, too. I think Casey wants to go caroling. So
how fun.
I'm going to drag you along.
Oh, you know what? I always say people will have a merrier Christmas if they don't hear my singing voice. That was not something that God blessed me with, was a beautiful voice.
I will tell you, the Bible says make a joyful noise unto the Lord, not a beautiful noise unto the Lord.
It ain't joyful for anybody either, I gotta tell you.
This is why I sit behind you in church.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this, like, what was my most memorable holiday travel? And so, being a hockey family, at Thanksgiving time, we actually always go to Canada because they have a big hockey tournament called Silver Sticks.
Nice.
And Canada doesn't celebrate the same Thanksgiving as us. So our Thanksgiving dinners were always like the opposite of your story. We are like fine dining at the Keg, which is a steakhouse. And I'm like, I guess that's my favorite story because I like steak better than turkey. And I was always excited to have like a really nice, like formal steak dinner on Thanksgiving instead of like all of the like turkey and stuffing and stuff that like I'm just really not a fan of anyways.
Yeah, unpopular opinion that I have is like I've never super cared for turkey. It has not ever been my favorite. I'm like, can we get a ham? Can we do a brisket? Like, I'll make a corned beef. Like, let's do something different. And the one year I remember for Thanksgiving, I told my mom after I got married and I had to start doing the swapping things, like we got to go over here and then we got to go over there. I told my parents, I said, I'm not eating 2 Thanksgiving dinners. I'm just not going to do it. I just won't do it. So the one year we did Thanksgiving Day at Mary and Lauren's, and my mother-in-law can cook her tuchus off. I will tell you that right now. I never am disappointed when I eat at Mary's house. So we did the family dinner over there, and the next night we went to my mom and dad's house and had a little bit more laid-back situation because I told my mom, I was like, I don't want you to feel like you have to like do all of the things and make all the turkey and do all. I'm like, let's order Chinese food. Let's order pizza. Let's do a taco bar. are. Like, so we did something a little bit more laid back, and it was just so much better because nobody had to freak out about getting the turkey in over here and then checking it and then timing this and blah, 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 and all of these things. It was just such a really nice experience to just do something different.
Yeah, that's what we do. So Christmas we do Chinese food. I don't like turkey either.
Trisha just doesn't cook. Period.
I cooked
No, you
for
don't.
like the first 15 years of Trent's life, and I literally on my Google Calendar, I had every single day a meal planned out ahead of time for an entire year. So every single day, and I food prepped every Sunday. So you would look at the outside of my refrigerator and it would say inside are pre-washed and measured bags of grapes and stuff for tacos and ham, all of the things. There was all of the things because I was also a billet mom, so I had to feed somebody else's kid, which, you know, you can't mess that up. You can mess your own kids up, but you can't mess up other people's kids. So I'd have like all of the food that the boys could grab for snacks. I had pre-made dinners. I had crock pot meals every single day. I cooked all day, every day for the first 15 years of his life, and then they got old enough to complain. And I had made like a dinner one night, and they're like, Trent was complaining about squash and Angelina was complaining about how many days do we have to eat chicken. And I was like, I'm not cooking anymore.
Boom.
And that was it. And now
They
everybody
learned a
lives
lesson.
happier ever after because now everybody has to cook for themselves. And the ironic thing is now Trent is living at a billet home, and that woman cooks all of these meals. And he's like, Mom, look, like she has it laid out what she's cooking for the week and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, now you appreciate it now that you're grown. But when I did it when you were younger, it was complain because I don't want to eat squash, or I don't want to eat peas, or I don't want to eat whatever vegetable was in said meal. So it's not that I can't cook. It's that I do not any longer. Because if you complain to me about something that I'm doing for you, I ain't doing it no more.
Yeah. That's why she just makes tater tot casserole and that's it.
So note to self, friends, if you go to your family's house and they cook you a meal,
You just shut up and eat it.
shut up and eat it.
That's a Lauren Boyle special. Ryan's constantly, I mean, like there have been times where we've gone over to family's house and they're like, oh, I've just got these leftovers, are you hungry? Because you walk into Aunt Cindy's house, she's like, are you hungry? And she's constantly, are you hungry, Mahiggins? You need to eat something, and Ryan's always like, yeah, I never complain about, food you didn't cook, other people's food, like you just sit down and eat it. I don't care if it's roadkill or whatever. Just
All right. Well, that's what we got, friends. We hope you enjoyed this special holiday-themed episode. And as always, we'd love to hear from you, our
give us a
listeners.
shout out.
Share your favorite holiday travel memories, any tips you have for making the travel experience smoother. Go check out my 10 travel tips from Trish. If you are going to be on the road or in a plane, you're going to get some great, great stuff there. Reach out to us on social media. We might feature your story on our next episode.
That's right, because we drop fresh content every Thursday. So wherever you're listening, please hit that subscribe, hit the like, and hit the share so that everybody can feel the love of this amazing episode. And until next week, keep living that elite life.
And don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing. I sang it since I saw the shirt. I've been singing it in my head. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today on the Elite Life Podcast with Trish and Kylee. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend so we can keep delivering you more fantastic insights on grit, grace, and growth. Stay connected with us on Instagram and Facebook, where we'll keep the ideas flowing to help you build a life you love and leave a legacy you can be proud of. Until next time.